So I just had two radios turn up, which someone asked me to look at. A Hoffman H225 and a Anytone 666 apparently. This one here apparently has an issue with weak audio, so we'll see about this. It's a 10mm radio. I've never actually seen one of these before. I don't tend to do ham stuff, so. And this one here apparently has an issue with someone's tried to work on it before apparently, and the final didn't have an insulator on it. But let's look at how the cases are put together and stuff like that. Yeah, so apparently the final header was replaced but didn't have an insulator on it. That's the instruction I got, and I need to look into that one and see what's going on here. I'm not sure what the faults are yet. I haven't tried powering them up yet. Yeah, so I'll update this bit of video when I've actually powered one up and had a look and try to see what's going on. Right, so I've powered it up. Haven't done actual testing yet, apart from having a quick look at the channels. It appears that this has been converted. It says it's a 10mm radio. However, if I transmit, that's the frequency it's on, which is interestingly drifting upwards as it's transmitting. 1, 2. Yeah, so it's doing the FCC band, even though it says it's a 10mm. So let's see. There's a freaking button there. What does that do? Oh look, here we go. Isn't that nice? Okay. What else does this do? I notice there's a D on the display. Yeah. Band. E. Oh, look at that. So this looks like quite an interesting little radio actually, because it's USB as well, upper or lower sideband, upper sideband, and what does it cover? Well, it goes down to 25. This encoder seems interesting. Okay, what's it go down to? 25 point what? 25.615. Not bad. That's on band A. B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. There's a J. Is that it? Yeah, J. So, that's not bad, is it? Lots of bands. So, this is an interesting little radio. Okay, so I've just done a quick little test on it, and it has audio. So, at least on AM. So, I'll do some more video after I've done some more testing and found some more about the radio. Okay, slightly more radio. I've managed to figure out to get to a certain menu system using this button here. Hold that down, it goes into some menus, and then you can actually go into various things like audio beep, just different options, 10K, I'm guessing that's steps, echoing, turn on off, noise blanker, high cut filter, back to that again. So I've 1, 2, I'll lift the echo on, I'll turn the beep off because that's getting a bit irritating. Power wise, it's interesting. I've got that power turned down pretty much. If I turn it all the way up, this is an AM, right? Look what it's doing. That's 20 watts AM, right? But you can see it's got severe negative modulation, so you can't do it. Yeah, so not great. But you can do much lower. You know, just roughly, without actually looking at the generators and stuff. Yeah, 10 watts is marginal. 1. Yeah, so it looks like. There we go. 1. Just vaguely looking at that power meter as a guide, it's 7.5 watts seems to be what I can do on this channel. So yes, interesting radio certainly, but the report was low audio, and from what I can see there, it's fine apart from the fact it's running too much power output. So I'll do more testing. So far I've only tested AM. Let's have a look at upper sideband. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 1. Oh god, echo's awful sideband. Let's turn that off. Echo. A 10-meter radio with built-in echo. That's just ridiculous. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. And it's got talkback built in too. And it's off frequency slightly. More power. Turn the current up on my supply. Well, that's pegging my 25 watt slug on my bird. So power output wise, it's pretty good. I might have to change slugs on the bird just to see what's going on there. Let's have a look. 10 watts now. 100 watts. Here we go. This will do. Get this changed over. Okay, let's see what this does on sideband, shall we? This is a 100 watt slug. So it's doing just over 30 watts roughly there, RMS. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a bit distracting having the talkback on it though, so I can't really hear what the other radio is doing. 1, 2, 1. Yeah, it's off frequency a little bit. It's probably not a big deal, but it is working. Lower sideband. I only put the radio down like that so the talkback's not interfering with what I'm trying to do. Okay, lower sideband on the radio. 1, 2, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's doing about 32 watts RMS. So yeah, I can't fault it so far. We shall see. Let's see what the receive sounds like, shall we? It is going to be off frequency. Let's just pop this up. My base radio here that I use for my testing is bang on frequency. I know that for a fact. So it's not that the switch is off. So if this doesn't sound right, it's the radio itself. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh look, no audio. Now, isn't that interesting? Yeah. It's not receiving anything. So, that's interesting, isn't it? Maybe that's the fault. No receive. I don't know what the SC and this RT mean. Unless it's waiting for a tone squelch or something. Yeah, that's interesting. There's the squelch control there, which is turned right down. Let's clarify, I suppose we'll stick it in the centre. But yes, the IF gain is right up. Turn the power down for now. But no audio. Let me plug a speaker into the back of this. Does it have a speaker jack? Yes, it does. Let's see, in case it's the internal speaker. It seems something weird going there. I mean, it was making those beeping sounds, so it probably does work, but yep. You can see the signals going. So yeah, it is receiving, but there's no receive audio. I'm not sure if it's something to do with the radio itself or if it's something I'm doing. That's a really good question, because I don't actually know how to use this thing very well. I don't know what DWE does. No idea. And that's jumps frequencies. Oh, awesome. Yes, good question. Why is there no audio? Let's try a different mode. FM. Let's see what it does. So yeah, no audio from there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's definitely working anyway. So that's very interesting. So the speaker, internal speaker was working because that beep was coming through. If I go back into there and turn it back on again, the echo was working, the talkback's working. Oh, turn it on. 1. Well, it was working. Let's unplug that in. Here we go. Right. So the talkback is working. Right. Let's just change the other unit. 1, 1. So you can hear it's working. 1, 2. So, yeah, a little bit of mystery there. It's recognising the volume is adjusted. So, and the talkback works, so the audio system is working, and the talkback works, just no receive audio. There's this receive signal. Very interesting indeed. Let's try turn the high cut off. Okay, not that. Okay, I should admit, just turn the noise blanker off just in case that's affecting something. No, still nothing. So, very interesting indeed. Very interesting. Yeah, I've come across some Anytone units, so the squelch actually works upside around. Scanner, so ASQ on, auto squelch, I guess that means. Definitely nothing. So, bit of a mystery. This, I'm going to have to see if I can find some diagrams for this maybe. Might be this, it's going to be a tricky one. Right, so I just thought I'd do a check on the microphone just to rule that out, because sometimes the microphone is the problem. You never know. The amount of times I find the microphone is an issue when there's a fault reported for radio. So, let's open it up. This looks very much like a standard mic with the PTT switch in there. It's got a circuit board up there for the up-down buttons. The white wire appears to be the receive wire. I'm just trying to follow that through. It's not particularly clear, but it goes down there. It's got these other wires wrapped around it, which I'm going to leave in place because it helps with shielding, which probably wasn't done in the first place. And it goes down to the cable. So that white wire there is definitely receive. So let's just see if I can probe the plug and find out which pin that goes to, and make sure that the actual microphone does work. I might swap sides with this camera actually so you can see a bit better. Okay, here we go. So let's see. I actually might stick a clip on this just to make it a bit easier. See if I can hold the thing on. Yeah, let's clip that on there. There's two wires here. I've got to be careful how I do this. I think that's kind of okay, not wonderful. So probe. So I know nothing about this radio. Got no diagrams for it yet. I haven't looked though, so there could be. So I just want to try and identify which pin is receive. That's interesting. It appears that none of them are. Here we go. Not great. My probe doesn't quite get in there very well. But okay, that's receive. Interestingly, that isn't actually making very well. So, okay, so that's the receive pin there. So the receive is going through to the plug. So I've ruled out the fact that there's a broken wire in there. Well, probably ruled out. I'll plug it in just to reconfirm that. This plug does feel, I'll get my hand out of the way, I'll show you this. This plug, see how loose that is? It doesn't feel very tight when it's plugging in. It just doesn't have much tension on it at all. It may even not be, it might be, it's just a bad connection. So we'll just rule that out as well. Let's have a look. So I've volume up still, let's pop this up so I can work on it. And actually hear what's going on. Just in case that's all it is. No, nothing. No difference. So I can say fairly confidently that the microphone is working. Because the transmit works, so therefore the common pin must be connecting okay. So that should be right. presumably, unless it's been wired backwards, that is also possible. So I shall check that too, just to be absolutely sure. And a nice easy way of doing that, yes, that is a good question actually. Let's just do some measurements on it. If I do voltage measurements, that'll probably tell me, because usually you can measure a voltage. So that's transmit. Let's stick a volt reading on that. Let's see if I'm getting something here. Getting 2.5 volts there. You can't see that, can you? Of course not. Really get a decent camera, it's ridiculous. Anyway, this will do for now. So, like I say, again, that's the transmit pin. Well, it should be the transmit pin. That's reading 2.5 volts, which sounds like it's probably okay. That should be common. I'm getting 0 volts there. And there, receive, also 0 volts. So, I'm confident the switch is okay. And the wiring to the switch is okay. Because the voltages look correct. So it's likely to fault inside the radio. So, right, things get interesting. I have to excuse the buzzing. It's my heat gun, just well, my hot air station just cooling down again. I've just got this cover off here, which is still fairly warm. This thing here. It's hard to get off. Soldered on. But as soon as I popped it off, I noticed just in here, I don't know where you can see that, there's a little budge wire there on the end of that diode, which happens to be bridging across the side of what looks like a capacitor, a resistor, and then across the transistor there too. See that transistor leg? It's bridging across that as well to that capacitor. I'm pretty sure that's not good. It could just be that it's shorting everything out. So I'm going to try just tidying that up. I don't know how well I can capture this on camera, but I'm trying to do it. It's all pretty small stuff. But yeah, there's the wire there. Okay, I've just lifted it up a bit. So that is now not shorting everything out. It's probably okay anyway. You know, but if it's been vibrating and rubbing a bit, you know, with movement or whatever, it could have actually worn through the enamel on the wire. So it's, you know, concerning that that could have been the case. So I'm just going to try and bend it a bit more as well, and I'll look at trying to stick something on there. So now I've done that, which there we go, but that little cover will have to go back on at some point. Also pop this cover off here. There's a little adjustment there. It's not marked, unfortunately. All the other adjustments do appear to be marked. FM modulation, for example. You know, volume, delay, which I'm guessing is for the echo unit, which is be that chip in the corner there. I believe this one here will be the echo unit. I haven't been able to find a diagram for this radio, unfortunately. The brand is mentioned as a Chinese manufacturer. This one here, it's called, I don't know how you even pronounce that, Weizhang. I don't know, but apparently they make radios and rebrand them as other brands, even Superstars mentioned. Yeah, so there are adjustments here which are labelled. I was actually hoping to find one which said squelch. Reason being that the squelch will be connected to the squelch circuit, which will allow me to try and trace that around and try and identify if the squelch is closed permanently. If that's the case, you know, then it could be causing, you know, no audio issue. But I've been looking around, seeing like there's a few iffy solder joints around the place. Wait, flip this over, and it looks like someone has been doing a little bit of work in here. See this? It's around what I believe is the audio amplifier. I mean, I'm actually tracing the circuitry out. Just based on that, I mean, this is a bit messy here too. So someone has been working on it, and of course it's double-sided board, so it's always fun. So I might just go around and fix up some solder joints and see if that helps as well. So I've scratched my head a bit on this one. I've roughly resoldered the board. It's not pretty, but they're better than what was there. And I did that jumper in there, obviously, and no improvement. It still doesn't have any receive audio. Trying to trace the circuitry through, not having a huge amount of luck. So I thought, well, I'll try and follow the receive circuitry through and try and find the detector diodes and find out if the detector diode has gone for the audio. However, every diode I've found, which are tiny, are okay. So if I can just find one now, I'll show you what I mean. That there is a diode. It looks like an 0603. I think it might even be smaller than that. There you go. So I can get them. There you go. See the tip of my probe? There's a diode right there. That's a diode. There's another one just there, which I've also tested. I'm not sure about any of these SO parts here. They might be potentially diodes, but I haven't gone through those yet. There are several little diodes around them. There's another one just there, another diode there, and there's some inside this can here, like there, just there. I've already checked that, and they've all checked out okay so far. My suspicion is that the squelch circuitry is stuck on, and so it won't let any receive audio come through. Trying to identify where that is tricky. Here is a LM324, which I suspect could be it. It's a similar part and similar location is used in like the HR 2510s and similar, and they have that kind of thing, but obviously in a lot different package. But also this other IC just here, and it's around the right kind of place where it could possibly be, but I don't know. It could also be anywhere through here. I believe that there is audio amp. I haven't actually checked any part numbers yet, but it looks like it could be an audio amp. The capacitors visually look okay. There's no signs of bulging or leaks or anything. I haven't tested it yet, but I mean it could easily be a shorter capacitor on somewhere. So I'm actually tempted to put this on the shelf for the time being and move on to the other radio and come back to this one later on, after I've had a really good look around, try and find some diagrams for it, because really without diagrams this is being quite hard, because there's no part numbering, or only the tuning cans, that's it. Yeah, adjustments, the only things that have got part numbering on, nothing else has. So I really need to find the diagrams for this radio. But, hey, I like a challenge. Okay, so I've come back to this radio to try and diagnose this no audio on receive fault. I've done a bit of probing around already. I'll show you in a second. What I've just noticed, if I have the, it doesn't matter what volume I have this set to. I'll try and get so you can see it. It doesn't matter. No change. Right, I can just hear my test tone from my Marconi. Right. So I'm doing a test on that. Quite a strong signal level in to make sure I've got a good strong RF signal within the radio to do the IF checks to make them easier to probe. What I've noticed is that I can just hear the test tone. So the 1 kHz tone, I can just hear it from the external speaker really quietly. And if I over here to clarifier, adjust this, so I can still hear it, still hear it, still hear it. Gone. Right? That shows me that the squelch is actually working, okay? Because that is shunting the tone. So originally my thought was that the squelch circuit was jammed on, because I've come across that before on other radios where the squelch has failed and just shunts all the audio. So now I've noticed that, okay, right, I know it's not the squelch circuit which is doing that. I've been probing around in this circuit here. I'll just show you where. In this area down here, that's where the IF comes through this little amplifier there, passes through these filters bit modification, passes through. On this side here, we actually start to get audio frequencies. This side's all IF, and it starts to go to audio over here. So if I probe, say, just there, and that point just there, which is that leg, there is the audio tone. So I know that the audio is there. If I go further back, let's change my scope to be a different timing. Oh, timing. Yeah, I'll go that way. Let's see if I can see the IF frequency instead. Where is it? I'll find it again now. Hold on a second. I'll come back to this in a second once I find it. Okay, so I've managed to remember where I probed this thing. So there's my IF there, 455 kilohertz. You notice it's flicking up and down randomly. I find that quite interesting because it's not normal. And there's the probe point just there. I'm just probing on that transistor just there. That's the amplifier, or one of the amplifiers in the IF. Okay, so and then it passes through, goes to some more here, passes through this, and then on this side it turns to audio, where it gets filtered down. Yeah, so I'm just going to put this back down again. Use the right control, Scotty. Probe's come off. I already use a tripod, but I'm moving around too much, so I'm actually just not going to bother that right now. And back onto this probe point right there, and turn the audio back on again. There we go, audio back on. There's audio on the scope, a bit too strong. Hold on. Okay, so again, there's audio on the scope. So that's that transistor just down here. Afraid my lighting is not great. I really need to do something about that. Okay, so right there in that transistor, I've got that. Interestingly, got this. It comes up here, goes a little parallel capacitor. There's a little resistor there. Comes up here, there's another resistor here. So if I probe on this resistor here, I'll get decent audio signal, right? But if I move down here to, it's on the same trace to this resistor here. Trying to see what I'm doing through the camera, which is not easy. I get nothing. So I find that rather interesting, seeing as that's probably not supposed to be like that. It looks like the same trace. So let's try and get a bit closer to the camera. Alright, so let's just see if I can get that. So there I have audio signal, and you see the trace appears to come across, go down through that via to the end of that resistor. There's no signal there. There is signal on this side. So I've tried probing really strongly there to make sure it's not like a residue down a build up. Can't get anything. So that's really strange. I might actually just try running a little bridge across between those two resistors, or measuring resistances and stuff, and figure out if that changed anything. But yeah, I'm just trying to trace the audio as it comes through the IF section. So I'm trying to follow the audio circuit, because I don't have a diagram for this radio. So I'm trying to follow audio through this path here, and I've traced back from the audio amplifier, which is here. There's the audio input pin there. It comes back this way. So if I probe around here, you can actually hear it clicking. Alright, so I know that's the audio input. So I'm going to trace backwards and forwards and try and see where I either start to get audio or I lose it. But yeah, it's an interesting radio. Okay, my little mystery is solved with that trace. There isn't actually a trace there. I was just probed around it with my meter to see, where the things connect to, and that looks a bit like a trace going from that via. It's not. It's a silk screen outline. The trace actually runs underneath the transistor. Let's get a probe here. No, I've lost myself. Where am I? There, right. So that trace there comes off that resistor. That's not a trace going between there and there. That's the silk screen edge. It comes underneath the transistor up to that leg there, which is why I've got audio here and here, but not in the middle. So anyway, it's a little mystery solved. It's my interpretation. However, it still doesn't solve the problem of the radio. So I'll keep going on that, and I shall let you know how I go. Well, this just gets more interesting. That audio input here jumps across that wire to that wire, back over to that wire, then it comes down the other side of the board, down to just above this capacitor here. There's a wire right there. The interesting thing about that is that it goes nowhere. It goes to there, which has got, looks like it's been resoldered at some point. There's some flux residue around there and some missing parts. This is interesting. So without a diagram, I've got no idea what's supposed to be going on there. But you can see there's some flux around the capacitor there. Hopefully I can get to focus. Yeah, it's not doing well. There you go. So, see that? There's flux around there. And that little pad there looks like it should go to there through something. There's a resistor there. Should be a transistor or something here, by the looks of it. And some other parts here. Parallel to Earth, and a feed through of some kind through there. So I'm going to have to do some probing. It might be the audio input comes through that one. Yeah, this is a little bit of a mystery. Very interesting. Unless I'm chasing the wrong track, but the fact that there's been some soldering going on there and it doesn't work, yeah, it's probably a bit of a clue. Alright, just done some more probing around, and I found that this transistor here appears to be the squelch shunt. So when I'm probing, I'm getting audio coming out of that device. I'm actually seeing it over here on his pads or wires, and can't quite make it now. Is that BR something? And as I turn the squelch up, that audio shunts and disappears. If I probe, I've got these wires over here. That's the audio path going through that wire to that wire into that device. So it's actually passing through here and comes back out that side. So I'm just tracing there. I mean, it's close. I mean, audio's there, no audio there. It's getting close. I'm making some progress here. Okay, some more progress. I've been probing around. I've managed to trace the audio path from up here. That wire that passes through from the IF section, and I can pass it through this, through that wire. Comes down the back of the board, all the way down, and it comes down through that wire right there. Okay, so it's a bit jumpy, but there it is. And also comes out here from this device. I think this is a volume control IC or something. I haven't actually checked the specs, but it comes back through that wire there. All looks fine, nice and smooth. Jumps through some other wires, through that wire there, it comes back round. Underneath this capacitor, another wire there. Goes back on the other side of the board. Comes back over here. Now, this is interesting because this is getting close to where I traced it, the audio amplifier input from. So, just there, I'll probe it, just there is the audio there, see? There's audio from the IF stage, right there. And here, if I can touch it, trying to do this for the camera, doesn't help me. Hear that? That's the audio amplifier. So IF stage audio, audio amplifier audio. Stuff missing. Okay, so I think there's a resistor or capacitor missing from across those two pads right there. Unless that's supposed to be a via. I'm going to double check the other side of the board and see what's there. But it looks like it could be a part missing from there to there, because that looks like a part pad there. So, you can see what I'm doing. Bloody hell, doesn't help. I'm trying to look at myself. So, between there and there, that's the audio from the audio amplifier. That's the audio amplifier side. That is the via there, which has got audio on it. So, and this side here, interesting, it doesn't have any audio. I might have to check this part. That says, I'm quite sure what the reading is on that. I can't see what it says. Can't quite read it. I have audio there. No audio there. Is this the problem? There's nothing on that side of it. I'm going to have to investigate this a bit further, but say looks like there's a part missing there. And looks like there may be parts missing here. But it's hard to see. I mean, it might be a part of an unpopulated board. But it seems awfully coincidental that the audio system's right here and there's parts missing. And that's what's causing the problem. So we'll get there. Alright, so I just did a little test of my little resistance substitution thing here. And I bridged across between that via there and that pad there, and surprise surprise, I got RX audio. That is a 0 ohm resistor. It's marked 000. I've got my little magnifier out to have a look at that. I might see it on here actually. Here you go. Get it sort of stable enough. Right, 0 ohm resistor, and that's open circuit. But I'm still sure that some parts missing from here, because there's a capacitor, resistor, which go to here. Oh look, that's part of the audio circuitry. What is this bit, I wonder? What does that do? Because it's missing, and I don't have a circuit diagram, which is a shame. Anyway, actually, I'm just noticing this. Is that leaking? That colour on the top there looks interesting. Might have to look at that one more closely. Anyway, so I think I found out why there's no audio. This part's missing. Okay, I'm going to attempt to solder this part in. I've decided to use a capacitor rather than resistor, because at least it gives DC isolation in case there is some issues there or whatever. Capacitors will pass audio just fine. That's all. It's all passing audio. So I've got a 0603 capacitor here. I'm going to use a 100 NF. Purely because I've got a bunch of them. I'm going to try and solder this thing in. This is definitely going to be interesting. Where's my small solder? There it is. So I'm just going to prepare these pads. Power's definitely off. That's all fine. Let's try and get this in here. I've taken out that blown resistor. It wasn't actually very easy to get out. You've got little tweezers, so I can get this part in. So it's tiny. It's an 0603. So, you know, it's not a fun one to try and solder. I'll just hope I don't drop it because I never find anything again. So, put that in there. Come on. We need to clean the soldering iron tip. It's not looking very nice, man. Slightly better. there's a capacitor in. Now, so I've taken that resistor out because it was blown. The resistor was open circuit. So I'm going to try and keep it as original as possible in case one day someone figures out what these other parts are that you're missing. It ain't going to be me because I haven't got a manual. So I'm just going to get a resistor out and I can put a, probably got a 0 ohm resistor somewhere, I'll chuck that in there. Right, I've got a resistor out. It's on my bench, it's absolutely tiny, I'm trying not to lose it. So I've got to try and get this in here now as well. Having decent tweezers, kind of important. Doing this kind of work. Surface mount is very fiddly. So, it appears to be soldered in. Let's just make sure. Right. Theory has it that we should now have audio on this thing. Hopefully. Hey, what's that? You have sound. Turn your audio on. You can actually hear it stepping. Because it's got electronic volume control. I don't know if that's normal for this radio or not. But hey, that's it. It works. So, there we go. No audio issue was due to someone taking parts out of the radio. So, that's another job almost done.